Hello, welcome back to ABI-DOS. Last episode we developed somewhat of a machine that could help us with the normalizer, but ultimately it didn't really go anywhere. I really would like to try and, sort of think this through again. I could improve this setup, or I could choose to make something better. What I'm gonna do is, because I haven't done this in a while, go back to the original thing here and try and see what's going on so I can relearn what my idea was. My idea was to basically have this hold some number of items and do that subtraction here. So after a certain amount of time, what? Oh, it started already. Hold on. So after a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of time, things come out. And I'm pretty sure, regardless of the value I write, numbers won't change, right? So 19 is 1 less than 5 times. If it's 1 less than 8 times, it's 31. Eight times 4, I mean. So these are all 8 items in a row now. Things will start moving out at this point. See, the thing is that there are additions there. Like, you can see there's some merging going on, which is the problem, right? I don't want that merging to go on. So that is what the issue is. And this occurs because every 2 steps here there's an item. And of course this will stop eventually. This will stop eventually. Actually, it won't stop eventually. No, yeah, it will occur. Yeah, okay, it will work eventually. But when there are an accumulated number of items in here, it will not work for a while. The reason why is because when there are 8 items in here, there are in fact 4 items per sort of per hole here. Per hole? 4? What? No, 1 item per 2, like 2 spaces on the track. And so since this will come out once every 4 cycles, every 4th cycle you get something adding on, which we don't want. Which is why I was thinking of trying to make it so that it's more like an odd number, because then you get like very almost perfect slices through. And actually there is an example of that working in, I think, Q controller? The gun system, yeah. You can see here that because this takes 2 steps and this takes 1 step, they are not on the same parity. You can get some very interesting stuff going on here. You can get it so that things on here will never merge, because one always comes on the odd cycles and one always comes on the even cycles. So my question is, can I make that happen? And I'm not sure. I was thinking if maybe I could set up an obstructor here. So the cycle will take 5 instead, and that might work for like 1 cycle, but on the 2nd cycle it will then take 10 total, and then eventually it will take 20. If it takes 20 cycles, that's the same as taking 4 sets of something, right? And that's not even the issue, right? Well, yeah, no, that is the issue. If one comes out every 5 cycles here, eventually you hit 16. Sorry, 20. After 4. After 20 is equivalent to having 5 items having passed through here. At which point the next one will merge. So you can only delay the inevitable, I would say. But this appears to work at the very beginning and then stops working after a while. The numbers are wrong either also, because the wrong thing comes out apparently. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. This 60 and then 56 first, so the first thing that comes out... What? The first thing that comes out should be this 60. I think the reason why this doesn't work is because I've calibrated it to work on a cycle of 8, which means that the 8th object will come out, which is this 64. Right? Or is that not true? This 54 comes out first, which is really odd. 54 is like what? The 3rd thing, right? Yeah, it's the 3rd thing. So it's like calibrated wrongly. Why is it calibrated wrongly? Did the subtraction here not work, right? Oh, I subtracted 5 from here. So it goes one step back plus another... what? It writes 23 here. Maybe if I added 1? Wouldn't that push it even further to release the wrong thing? Like you get a 47. That 427 is gone already. No, the 5 was right. The 5 was right. It's just that this cycle is timed wrong. So that is not gonna work for... yeah, for the 5, 6s, and 7s it won't work. For like an 8 it might work. Actually, because this is 3 away, I think it works on like... I don't know why it works on. 54 comes out, 54 is the third thing to come out, right? So why is it the third thing that comes out? One, two, three. And how do I change that? Why do I short? I can't shorten it. If I shortened it, it would definitely, merging would definitely happen. Like it wouldn't happen first, but now it would happen. Okay, so I think I need a better system then. Either that or a system that releases early. Can I make this work? So what does it look like? It looks like... oh, I see the issue. These should be flipped. This should be one earlier than this, I think. Okay. Which means that this button, this B sensor, actually goes here, and this A sensor goes here. Wait, does that make any sense to you? I don't think it makes a lot of sense to me. But if this happens to push out the 60 first, it would make some sense, but it's pushing out the 54? It's still pushing out the 54 first, which is weird to me. I guess it doesn't matter where it is. These are both along the same the same round of 4 cycles, so it doesn't matter which comes first, I guess. Then why did I put the... wait, yeah, then why did... this 60... yeah, now this is activated. This is activated way too early, by the way. So should it be activated later is my question. No, because this 427 and this 54 have to align. I think the idea is just straight up wrong here. This only works on one of the 4 possible values that come out. Oh, okay, I shouldn't be holding it for a set number of times. I should be holding it until release. Until something releases it. Yeah, it's not gonna work out otherwise. So I need a better storage system. But how do I... okay, well, I guess a better idea could be to have a system that looks a bit more like... okay, should I just destroy all of this? Let's destroy all of this. Let's preserve the loop. Yeah, let's preserve the loop. I need to keep the loop. And then this is the storage system, right? The storage system goes away. So yeah, this loop is the important part. This loop is the one that will be held for a certain amount of time before being released. Yeah, okay. And then we'll get rid of the wires as well. The wires we don't need. I'm working on a storage system. So how do we store up to 8 items? Well, I know of a storage system that can work. Oh wait, I can't think of one. Hold on. A storage system that just works. It needs to hold on to the first X items. Or at least, it needs to hold on to items until a letting go mechanism. So maybe maybe it needs to look like this. A B sensor that's connected to an obstructor. And if I can copy this setup 8 times. So this will hold and we hold there. And then if something were to, for example, release a bunch of things, I guess. So this will keep releasing things. Yeah, and this will keep releasing things, right? So if I made it hold 3 times, if I made it 3 times, it would just hold 3 things. It holds 3 things in the first 3 obstructors, or 4 because it's 0 activates first. Okay, so now I'll hold 3 things, and those 3 things will be held in the first 3. If I made this work for 8, I can make it work for 8 different items. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let's get rid of the copiers as well. So this is just the loop that will work. If I made this work for 8, do you think it will work for 8? It could work for 8. There is some kind of space constraint here, but I think we have space. Do we have space? I don't even know. Okay, -1. We have a B sensor. Let's make it as small as possible first. Then copy, and we need to do one over here. Copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To be fully honest, I think we only need the whole 7, but I should not be. Oh, this is 7. I shouldn't be too complacent. Also, the writer, the subtractor, I guess will be here. Okay, so the thing about this is that how is this gonna hold 7 items or a certain number of items before things happen? Like, the issue with this is that it will hold items. I think I just want to hold items until they're all released, right? Actually, okay, I want to test this. Let's copy this thing over. Jeez, this is gonna take a while to build. Let's hold 3 items before destroying. So hold 3 items, right? And then you'll hold these 3 items. Okay, what if I connected all of them? They'll just activate consistently until the very end, right? Yeah. So I shouldn't activate all of them, I should activate them on their own system. This can never be activated by something in front of it. That is the idea. But the issue with this is that this will only ever hold things at the very start. Like if I held 7 items right now, it would just, if I held like 6 items right now, it will only ever just hold items in the first 6 slots. The last slot will be empty, which seems really bad for timing. Also, I think I could maybe make this slightly better if I offset it a little bit. If I made this better, I could have a separate system that activates all the all the obstructors. Yeah, I can activate all the obstructors sort of separately. Maybe? This is very, okay. It's probably not that challenging to build. Let's say I make it sort of. Hold on. Let's make this. I don't even know how to build upon this now. Actually, no. I just need to push this down by 1, I think, and then there will be a natural. Yeah, there'll be a natural this thing going on. There you go. That's 8 items, and then all of them are sort of perfectly spaced, so that there can be a second. So it can be a second system of wires that just connects with obstructors and nothing else. What I'm thinking the reason for this, or the reason why I want to do this, is because I want it to be eventually something that disables every single one of these. And the timing where the disable happens is actually based on the number itself. So for example, if there were 8 items, then there would not be any disabling at all. If there was 5 items, however, those 5 items would sort of need to be disabled slightly earlier than usual. Right? Because otherwise they'll just get stuck at the very beginning. And also because the time where they need to be subtracted, that will have to occur a lot earlier. Basically like a lot earlier, yeah. So the timing for this also is dependent on the number that comes out. I just need to do some math on what that exact value is. Also, I can probably make this a lot easier if I just cut all of these and have a single output like here maybe. Yeah, this would make things a lot easier for me. Or in fact, yeah, let's just do this for now. This one can also move over here in case I need some. Yeah, okay. We'll work on space later on. Right now I just need to figure out the idea. So how are we going to do the math here? There first needs to be a value that writes onto the divider here, because obviously there must be a divider, which is 1 space above. So you'll write 7 down there basically. Then that value needs to be written onto something that will I don't know, let's see. This should start activating 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay, let's say it activates at some point. After activating once, the thing can go away already. So what does it look like? So this is the 5th one. Let's say this is a 7, right? We want it to merge after the 427. So it, oh wow, that is very fast. We might not need this many obstructors then. If you think about it, an obstructor? No. So this is what it looks like right now, which actually does seem to work pretty well. I think the reason why this is so much faster is because I'm working on cycles of 4. So in reality, I probably only need 4 obstructors for a perfect cycle to occur, right? So let's try with 4 obstructors. Let's try building one with 4 obstructors and seeing how good or bad it gets. Okay, so I'll get rid of all of these. The wires only need to look like this. The blue wires, the red wires, the white wires, all the wires. Wire. Oh, wrong color. Wires are red and red. And then there'll be one over here that does something. And then this will be written down. So, okay, let's see what this does. Will there be any merging going on because things do weird stuff? No, yeah, see, it's almost like a very perfect, like, well, I want to say Newton's cradle, but this is not how Newton's cradle works. But this looks perfect. It needs to be deactivated early on. Like right now, what is it on? Which cycle is it on? It's early. See, it's like really, really early. It's actually several cycles too early. Actually, the subtraction is the issue. If I don't subtract, we'll see when they start going. If I put a subtraction on, it's hard to tell. But I just need to look for the value of 427. So this is 1 early. For a 7, it's 1 early. For an 8, would it be 2 early? Or yes, for an 8 it would be 2 early. And by 2 I mean 2... Is this? No, this is a 5. What the? I'm looking for an 8. No. No. Okay, I think it was way back here. Yes. So for an 8, the first value we're looking for is a 57. Alright, sure. So the first value we're looking for is 57. No, 57 times 2 times 8. This is divided by 8. 57 times 8 is 456. So we're looking for 456. Or somewhere around there. So this is 1, this is 2, this is... yeah, 458 around there. So it was too early. Which means that this is still not enough obstructors. We need an obstructor to be able to hold things for up to 8 cycles. And then an early release can cause things to, you know, happen. That releases them without having the delay from the previous thing. Okay, so let's try 6. If 5 also works, I'll take 5, but let's assume that 5 increases it by 1 and 6 increases it by 1. Okay, so let's try this now. On an 8, we need the first bit to come out at the same time as the 456 here. Oh wow, this is early. Yeah, so now this and this... No, yeah, no, the... Wait. No, the 60... No, yes. The 60 is the first subtraction. And we don't want the subtraction first. We want the subtraction and addition to occur. So the subtraction will occur at the same time as the addition here, as you can see. This 456 must go through, which means the 456 cannot align with the 60. It's what's afterwards that aligns. So this is perfect. 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 Now that's interesting. If it's so perfect, how do I work it for 5? Do I need a separate? I can't have a separate. It needs to basically completely delete all, like... It needs to disable these obstructors consistently for 5. How? How will it consistently do that? 8 is perfect, right? If there was an 8 detected, then I don't need to do anything. The thing just works on its own. I can just time this to release. If it were 5, when does a 5 have to occur? So the 5 comes on next, right? Yeah, okay, let's see. So 63 is our first thing. Multiply that by 5, and our first sum has to be 315. Around 315. So 315 is here. 319, close enough. And this 60 has to be here right now. So, okay, let's see. How many cycles of delay is there? How many cycles of delay is there? So we'll consider this to be 1 cycle of delay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cycles of delay. So 4 cycles of delay per extra value, right? Because 8 minus 5 is 3. And for each extra number incremented, the delay is increased by 4. Or for each one taken away, you get an extra cycle basically. So what that means is that if it were... Okay. If it were 5, you'd have to speed this up by 12. If it were 6, you'd speed up by 8. If you were 7, you'd speed up by 4. And if you were 8, you had to speed up by 0. Meaning... Meaning what? If how do I make this work? I can connect like a B sensor to this, which activates all of them, which basically disables the machine and lets everything run or move forward. But how can I have this? I can do a checker that will activate okay, let's see. If I made so that this 5 were to land on 12 B signals before going away, would that do the right thing? I just cover them all just because we can, and then we'll let it go away afterwards. Of course, 1, 2, I don't know. Okay, it should be waiting for 2 before. Let's like just forgive me for this very messed up setup. This work? Wait, does it work? It stops working after a while though. Should it stop working? Yeah, it should stop working after a while, right? This 60 is so early. So maybe not that many. Maybe we'll do... If we did just 10. Oh, something very weird is going on. Oh, it has to escape. If nothing is here, nothing... Okay, so the 2 have to take away from here, I think. I actually have no idea. Isn't that gonna cause the same issue? Yeah, that is gonna cause the exact same issue. It's gonna be delayed by 12 cycles again. So it has to be 12. Otherwise, this is the only way to have the thing be able to escape. This has to be held until the 60 escapes. And we know that 219 is what we're looking for. Yeah, actually that 259 is 319 minus 60. So we were at a 319. But wouldn't the 319 be the first thing to come out? Yeah, it is the first thing to come out. We need to keep that 319. This is early by 1. Early by 1. Early by 1, but I can't change it. In fact, I don't know. Okay, for 5 it doesn't work. For any number else it doesn't matter if it works or not. I just know that for 8 it does pretty well. It works basically as intended. The 456 comes out and then the 4th and then it comes out. It works. The 450. What if for the 5, instead of starting off hitting 12, it waits 12 and then starts hitting the Bs? Actually, that wouldn't change a thing. It needs to make it so that the remaining is 12, right? Actually, I think that is the same in either case. Actually, no. 12. It needs to hold 20 before starting to hit the Bs. Actually, I'm gonna do something like this. You will see why this is relevant later on. This is a little thing that happens that causes this would just land onto B's all the way after holding for 20. So just a hold for 20 basically. Actually, it should hold for 19, but let's say it holds for 20. So it just I need to cause all of these to be affected. So it, after maybe 19 cycles, or maybe 18, I don't know, actually no. After a certain number of cycles, the 60 would just start going on. It would just get released. It would just, yeah, it will stop working entirely. See, the thing is, I wanted to start again. Like, I want the 5 to hit a certain number of times and then start again, which is a problem. So actually, I can make that work, I think. But does the 60 work properly? It's supposed to hit at the same time as 319, right? This is slow then. This goes way too slow. Yeah, the 319 is all the way there. So maybe this shouldn't be holding for 20, it should be holding for 12. No, wait, well holding, yeah, it should hold for 12, because then it spends more time. That's 319. That works, wow. The problem is that now you get some really weird stuff going on. Basically you get this you get this here, which is fine, but then you get a second thing that comes here. So this is subtracting the third thing from it, even though we want to subtract the second thing from it. So in reality, what we actually want to do is simply just hold the obstructor for a set number of cycles to get the 60 out. We're gonna hold it for like 6 turns or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We want to hold it for like 9 turns or something before going away. That's kind of the issue. It's a bit like there's not gonna be enough space to hold this for 9. Actually, I think we'll need 8 in reality. Yeah. And to have to do this for all 4 possible numbers is a bit of an issue. The good thing, okay, also I need to get rid of this so it doesn't affect the machine. Also, the good thing is that this is the biggest section of the machine. The 6s and 7s don't need to take up that much space. The 8s don't need to take any space at all actually, because the 8s are perfect. So does this work? Yeah, this is all we need. And then this will now work basically... Oh, what? Oh no! Then we meet the same problem where the next one will be delayed by 8 again. It needs to take 8 and then end up in a loop of 4 or something. Yeah, see, because this one is... This is when the... Well, this space is when this lens goes here, right? What? Yeah, because then this is 4 away, so it skips 1. Yeah, so you get a very... dude. That's messed up. I'm only working for the first one, I'm not actually figuring out what to do with the second one and so on and so forth. But the issue is that... Isn't this actually the exact same problem that we're having? For just a set track. It's not really a set track because I can change what goes on, but you know what? It's so much easier, I think. I just make a really long track that holds 8 items and then conveyors that connect shorter pathways like bridges. I think that's what I want to do now. Let's try that. If everything is 4 apart, then I need a length of 32. But I can make bridges to shorten the length that will activate with conveyors when a certain number is detected. The only issue is that I don't have enough space to make a length of 32. So maybe it has to be a shorter length of like, not really 32, but yeah, it has to be 32. And I need to activate, I need to connect the right things at the right time. Like, I need to connect things to shorten by 4 per number. So if I made a length of 32, which would be an 8x4 block, which, you know, it doesn't even work on this, but I can make it like a 7 by 4 is 28 plus 4. So this would be a 32 length. What the heck? There you go. This would be a 32 length. And I can connect things. I can... okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this holds 8 items at a time. It just doesn't even hold that many items, honestly, because I'm not going on in a loop anymore. Although actually we'll need to hold 8 items before the first thing comes out. So okay, so going back to the test case of 8, right? What time does the first thing work? $4.56 was the correct number, I think. We wanted a 4.56 to come out and then the thing to work. Then it'll be 4.59, yeah. So this is correct. Now, I want a conveyor to activate to shorten the track. So like this. It will start by being inactive. So, oh, but the issue is, okay, that's fine. We can always just add another conveyor here that does this sort of thing. Ideally, separate bridges won't use the same tile, so it's fine. Actually, even if they do, this is the endpoint anyway, so we do want everything to come out of the same direction. So we want... This is the length yeah, this is the length of how much? Of 32, right? Which is for 8. We want a length of 20 for 5, which means that we want a track length of 20. Well, we can do that by doing this. I can just do that right now, and I'll have the output be pointing this way. And so, if the value was 5, then this would activate, and then we can only hold 5 objects before it first starts being written here. And so the 319 is written out before the 60 comes in. Wow, okay, yeah, that works. For the 6, 7, 8, 5, the 6 needs to have a track length of 24, so I just need to add 4 to the track length. Something that looks like this would work. So if I made it a 6, I think this is a 6? No, this is a 6, yeah. Then you would hold 6 items before the first one is pumped out. 399 is 66 times 6. Actually, no, what comes before that is 66 times 6. Which I think is 360 plus this, 396. So it should be 396, 397, and then the next one comes out. Okay, that works. And for the 7, we just add 2 more, which was like this. And for the 8, we had the last one. And the 8 actually just takes out extra 4 spaces here. I can make this a lot nicer, but honestly, I don't actually need to. So for the 7, which we know the 0th case is, the 7 will just look like this. And then we know the 7th works for the 427 case, right? So the 427 should show up before... There you go, before the 60 comes in. Nice, this works. Oh, this was so much simpler than I thought it would be, honestly. This is so much simpler. And it doesn't take that much space either. It has a lot of empty space for track, but it's honestly not even that space consuming. We have a bunch of extra space here to use as we please. And I can actually push it up here. Although that would be a bit challenging because we want it to sort of like shorten the path this way. We don't want to go up. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, let's just take this and be happy with it. Okay, I'll take this sort of track. Yeah, well, I'll be happy enough with this design. Okay, maybe push it up a little bit to give some space, because there's a lot of space up here I can use. We'll see if that's viable. Should it be viable? Okay, let's let's try if this is viable. Let's copy this because I can, and then we'll start experimenting. So this is the 5th step, right? So we can do this and basically have the bridge go here. And the 6th one will be 4 away. 1, 2, 3. So the 6th one will basically just do the exact same thing as this. So the exact same thing will happen, just 4 spaces up, which is this. This looks a bit wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 2 away. Just here. Wait. Does this make any sense to you? Oh yeah, we added 4. Okay. So here we should add 4 as well. It's not by sorting by 2, but we should add 4. Okay, so adding 4 implies actually shifting this entire thing forward. This will add 4. Yeah. Actually, if I did this, that would also add 4. So yeah, that makes it slightly better. Then the 4 can be added like this. This adds these 4, and then another 4 down here. That is a bit more space, I believe. And then we still need a total space of 16. 16? What? No, the 32. So we need to count 32 again. This is 10, 12 so far. We need 20 more. 6 here means another how many? Another crap. 6 here means another 14. Why did I take so long to count that? 10 here plus 4, it just looks like this is not 14, is it? This is 12. Crap. I hope I didn't. Okay, I can do this to make it look nicer. The 14 is from this 8 here plus another 6. Okay, this is actually gonna be a lot more inefficient, so okay. Let's make it look better. No, I don't think this will work. Okay, hold on. Hold on. This output is very weird. Is this actually any better than before? This is 14, right? Yeah, this is 14. This is a very weird looking 14. This is 4. This is 10 plus 4, yeah. Is this any better than before? I think I do get slightly more space than this. I do get like whatever the space is in here, yeah. I think. Yeah, I get whatever space is in here. Does it work for 7? Crap. Of course. Of course I did that. So does it work for 7? We want the 60 to occur with the 427. Yeah, it works with the 7. We can safely assume it works with the 5. But just to check, this 60 should occur with the 319. What the heck? Oh, because I need to activate this. Yeah, because of the test case of 5. So we can, we can just add sensors for each of the values and then activate each of these accordingly. It's honestly not that much of an issue at all. 319 and then 319 again. Okay. Cool, this works. Cool, I will take that. First we deactivate everything and assume it's an 8. And then at the very end we just have 3 sensors for 5, 6, and 7, which will activate each of these separately. Easy enough. So here is the issue. We write the divisor here, that is accurate. We need to write... What do we need to write? Oh my god, do we even need to write anything? Oh my god, do we need to write anything? I just realized that our obstructed problem was just to make sure the loop opened up at the right time, but there is no loop here. The shortening is already determined, so I don't need to do the testing. What? Yeah, wait, that actually looks like it. Huh, okay. That is so much simpler than I thought it would be. In fact, it is so simple that all I need to do is this? Yeah, I think all I need to do is this, and that's it. The wires will be a mess because I'm not wiring them properly, but if I simply build this, the 7 will link with the 7, and then the 6 will link with the 6. Actually, I can do the opposite. I can put the 7 below. Oh, do not do that. The 6 up here can link to this 6, and then this 7 will link to this 7. Actually, that means that this can be turned into red wire. I think this is like the most brute force I've ever done a solution. Also, don't connect these. Don't connect these. There you go. Which means that this should work out, I think. So the 7 will hold for 7. So yeah, we get this thing to be unlocked, which means that this will happen. Of course, oh, that's what this obstructor is for. The obstructor seems to exist to open this. I realized, yeah, that's what the releasing would mean. Okay, fine. But actually, since this takes like a maximum of like some amount of time, we actually don't need to think that much. I just need to... I do need a blue wire though to finally activate this, because everything is overlapping in that right now. But it's fine. I need to do some timing issues as to this. Honestly, I think it's just multiply by 4. Right? Okay, let's think about this. If it was 7... Can we use the cycle count here to figure this out? It's actually a lot harder, right? Because... No, it doesn't have to be hard. I was thinking I need to use an X or Y port, but honestly I can just have whatever comes out here right onto something that's going to stand on later. And then it will be obstructed by its own writing. Yeah, that makes sense. So this should open up when we're about to hit 427, which is around here. That is on cycle 28 exactly. Which means what I should do is write an obstructor to first take into account all of the previous steps, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Multiply by 4, subtract 6. But not 6, we have to multiply by 4, then subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because we are taking 2 more steps as well. Multiply by 4, subtract 8. Oh, we are writing as well, so we need to subtract 9. Write that onto an obstructor, and then only at the end of the obstructor use a blue wire. Crap. This blue wire is gonna take... Yeah, this blue wire will have to activate this afterwards. So let's see if this works out. So it should let go now, which it does. Nice, that works. Oh wow, that works. Wow, I calculated perfectly there. You can see that like at the very end of it, like the thing moves just as the 427 is about to get on. Yeah, look at that. I can probably make it a lot easier if I subtracted 1 again. Subtract 10 here. Of course, because it takes another step to get from the obstructor to the sensor, of course, that's why. Actually no, this would make it earlier, wouldn't it? Oh, it will make it earlier. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter then. 9 is good enough. In fact, how early can it be? It doesn't need to be any... Yeah, it doesn't actually need to be any difference. It's not gonna affect the final cycle either way. This is very messy down here, but you know what? I'll take it. Does this work? Yeah, this works. Does it work all the way? Seems to work. And then if we go to the next one, it'll be a 7 again. And we go to the next one, it'll be a 5, and it works. Yeah, this works. There'll be a lot of weird setup going on. That's okay. Actually, can I make this earlier by having this write 2 up? And then it will start releasing earlier. Would that break this? I need to change the number that's written down here. Nope, perfect. This is actually perfect. Nice. And actually, because of that, I can actually take some space down here. Actually, that's not true. No, I can't take more. I could take more space to make this look nicer though. So like this is at 57 space. Technically speaking, it would hurt to do this. It would be 58 space because there's an extra space here that... Yeah, so yes, it would actually break. But I can do something like this to make it look nicer. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Alright, I'm taking this solution and I'm getting out of here. Actually, I'm gonna make it 9 speed. Whoa, what the heck? What number is this? 6. Why does it not work for 6? Oh, what the? Wait, why? Oh, whoops. When a 6 occurred, it accidentally activated this. Alright. Stupid mistake. It's not gonna look very nice now, is it? Honestly, it's fine. As long as I just follow the... As long as I just follow the line where there are white wires, then nothing will be compromised. There won't be any compromise in the space count, so it's honestly fine. Ta-da! Okay, hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, hey! 36 segments, hey! New lore. The nose, they whisper secrets. I am becoming something else. I'm almost complete. You're so close now, just a few more segments. You must reach the end. I must reach the end. I have a lot more to go though. I have like all the way until here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more segments. That is not a that is not multiple of 4. So 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45 segments total. Okay. So I wanted to do something. I want to run from test case 0. Oh. Oh, it runs the same test case over and over. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Good enough. I'm taking this solution and I'm getting out of here. I don't even know how long I've been spent on doing this. But okay. It worked out. Hey, I persevered. This is one of the levels where I didn't have any outside inspiration at all. Cool. Alright, next up we're going to be doing Matrix Reader, which I think is going to be pretty challenging considering my background knowledge of what a matrix is. We'll see how it is. I don't think I want to open this. I don't know if I want to be surprised by the interface I'm given. So I'll open this next time. Yeah, until then though, I think I will take this as is. These are pretty good stats, wow. Actually no, the space is a horrendous stat. Most people have managed to do in like, what, 30 something space? I just spent a lot of space holding like a really big space to hold icons without any delay. Anyway, yeah, I'm done with this. Yeah, we'll move on to Matrix Reader next episode. Until then though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!